they did receive it, but they forgot it, again, they can vote provisionally. And then again, also if they have it with them and they want to know where to take it to, they cannot leave it at the polling place. It does have to go again to one of the drop box and satellite offices. So final reminders. Help answer voters' questions when you can. If you cannot, we blocked out this number because that's the number that all the poll workers have. We want you to call your regional leaders, and I'll show you the slide that has that on there. It also has it on your assignment sheet where you're directed or where to go for election day, so you have it handy there. Voters can check the voter registration and polling place location online. We also have a really cool tool for you that you can use to get them there quickly, and anyone can request and cast a provisional ballot at the polling place. But these ballots will only be counted if the election officials confirm the voter was registered. Every voter in line at the polling place by 8 p.m. is allowed to vote on the voting machine. So this is one of the reasons why I know the polls open up at 7 and they close at 8. So we ask that you get there for the morning shift, all day shift, 6 a.m. till 9 p.m. because if someone is in line at 8 o'clock, then they can still vote, but they may not get a chance to vote until like 8:30 or something of that nature. So that's why we change the times. We're expecting a lot of voters to come out and lines to be long. So you can anticipate to possibly stay longer than 8. It doesn't always happen. It depends on the polling place. So let's talk about the Rover program. So you signed up for this program, and what is this thing all about, right? So I want to give you a little bit of history about the program. And it was before 2019. Well, November 2019 was the first time Rovers actually participated as in this function for election day. And the city council and the city commissioners, they've requested the help of the Office of Innovation and Technology, specifically the PMO, which is the Project Management Office, to help them in rolling out the new machines. There was a lot of technical things that had to be completed, and they needed assistance. I was the PM on that project, and we helped them with the new machines. And if you remember, that was your first time, everything was new. It was mandated by the state that we had to have this in place. So that was the first time. So that was with the new machines that they started to work with the project management team. But we also, with the changes, technically, we also realized there were a lot of changes from an operational standpoint. And we knew that the poll workers would have a lot of questions because it was new. So we requested to have this Rover program to help the poll workers with any issues they would encounter to help things move smoothly. This went really well. And then in the last election we had, which is our primary, we voted in June. It's normally in April of 2020, came COVID. So, remember we had to consolidate the polling places. So we thought that the Rover program, or the powers that be, thought the Rover program would be great to have again, to have the, at this point it was only city employees, to have city employees go out and help with any issues and concerns, help with line control and so forth. So that was very helpful. And now we're here in our general 2020 election, and we still are in COVID mode, but we also have the paper ballots. So we have which is new to everyone. So we anticipate that everyone will have a lot of questions, and we need those questions to be answered. We'll have long lines because it's a highly contested election. So the Rover program, but then it was opened up to the public for this election in order to make sure that we staffed properly. We have over 700 folks who applied and who will be working as Rovers. Let's get into your duties. So now that you know the history and the duties changed, as you can see from when we started to where we are now, because we'll pivot a little bit based on what we anticipate to be the main issues and concerns. So for this go around, one of your main duties is to answer voters' questions. I went over that a little bit earlier regarding the following, but not limited to: provisional ballots, we discussed that; mail-in ballots, I went through that; polling locations. And I'm going to come out of my presentation mode because I want to start showing you, as I go through this, some of your supporting documentation, because I think it's helpful from a visual standpoint. So what I'm getting ready to pull up, I have so many, I know, I got a lot going on. So bear with me a little bit because I already pulled the email up. Oh, here it is, perfect. So this is the email that everyone should have received. If you didn't, feel free to email me and say you didn't get your documents. I was told that some folks did not receive an email, which is, I hope it's not happening to a lot of people because that would not be good. So, polling location. And we'll get into your assignment shortly. So you will have someone to come up to you and says, well, you know, I'm not sure if this is my polling location. This is my first time voting. Could you help me? I really don't know. And you see me shuffling around. I'm looking for my phone and I don't have it near me. But what you will do is you will put your phone. Oh, yes, I do. That's hard to believe, right? My phone is always next to me. All right, so here's my phone. And you ask, these sheets will be inside of your packet. You will ask the voter to pull out their phone and open up their camera. So they'll open it up, and it's so funny because it works so quickly. As soon as they put it very closely to this QR code, if you can see, and hold on, I know, okay. If you can see, a website pops up there. So I click that, and then it takes me to a website where I could put my address in. So the voter would do this on their phone, put their address in. Everyone does not have a smartphone, I know. So if they don't, you can navigate them to that email address, or you can call one of your regional leaders and they can help navigate them to that area. And we will basically do the same thing. If you have a smartphone, you can pull out your phone and put their address in and give them the same answer. So, but if you don't have a smartphone, again, you can call your regional leader. So here it shows my polling place. If you can see it right there, it says that I'm the 50th Ward, 26th Division, and right underneath it is my polling place. So this is really cool, really quick, helpful, especially when what we're going to ask you to do is go down the line and ask everyone, do they have any questions? And you may get a couple of those. You could pull out your sheet and say, hey, here you go. Just pull your phone out and put your camera to it, and I'll show you how to get it real quick and easy. So that is a great tool that the Committee of 70 created that I think is just like awesome to help things move quickly, to help you answer this particular question quickly. Then if someone they're not sure if they're registered, you can use the other portion of this to find out, oh, I'm not sure if I'm even registered. This is my first time. I sent my documentation in. I don't remember receiving, anything, those kinds of questions you can ask. And if they believe that they are registered and they do have the right to vote at that particular location, again, they can vote provisionally. This is something that you can let them know. We want to equip you with the information so they're not waiting in line for 2 hours just to get some simple questions answered. Like, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do, but I have to wait 2 hours to find the answer to the question. We don't want that, right? We want them to know, because if they need to go somewhere else, that would eliminate them waiting for a long time. Say someone who's coming early in the morning before they have to go to work, and they can actually go to a different location now that you answered their questions, because if they didn't get to vote between a particular time frame, they may not vote at all. And that's what we don't want to happen. So Answering questions helps voters get those answers quickly, and you're there to help. That's one of the main duties. So next duty is the election board. So the election board will have questions, as I was stating earlier, and they're given a hotline number that is usually busy because everyone in the city is calling. So you're there to help answer those questions, but the only way you can answer those questions are by calling your regional leader, and then we have direct lines to folks in the city commissioner's office. They actually will be calling me, and then I would answer those questions. And if I don't know the answers, I would get them over to someone in the city commissioner's office. I would call them and get the answer, and we will relay it back. That way, because sometimes they can try to get through the line and it will take a really long time, which when it takes them a long time to answer particular questions, it makes the lines long. So we want the lines to be as short as possible, to run as smoothly as possible. That's why you're here. Asking the judge of elections for each division if there are any issues every 30 minutes. And I want to stop here. Oh, sorry. And go through every 30 minutes. Melissa, what do you mean every 30 minutes? Why would I need to do that? So I'm going to answer your question that I have in my head that I think you have. And, oh boy, I can't close these windows because I have to answer everyone's question. And my emails, I have so many of them. When I go to answer them, like they'll compile and then I'll lose them, and I'm scared that I won't get back to someone. So that's the reason for that chaos up there. All right, so let's get a little bit into how you're going to be servicing the judge of elections or in the election board. And this is directly all these materials you have. This I'm pulling up example if you're at your computer and you want to kind of see it yourself. Example, November 5th. Rover instructions and assignment sheet. Now, everyone will have this sheet in their packet. What this packet does is it shows you where you're assigned to, the ward, and locations. So your name will be here at the top, and then you'll see the ward that you are assigned to. Everyone is assigned to one ward, and then you'll see the locations. But you'll only see the location name. You won't see you won't have the address. So how do you get to the address? I'm glad you asked. There's something else in your packet that says, and you email it, it says, I emailed it to you, it says 2020 general election polling places. So you're gonna pull that up. And again, this is in your packet. And I probably already have it open. So your, when you go and you look at your assignment sheet, you may see, let me move over some. Okay, you'll see the ward. So say you are Elizabeth and you're in Ward 1. You'll see the ward and then you'll see the name. You'll look for the name and here's the address, then you'll see your name. So in this particular location, there are two divisions. Elizabeth and Almeida. Elizabeth is in the morning. This is half day morning in this section, half day afternoon, and full day. If you see that there's a issue with what I noted, meaning that you really want it to be a full day or you really want it to be a half day, you can email me and let me know, and I can make the changes, which leads me into this the list is being updated on a regular basis, so you will receive a final one. But your particular assignment, you should know, because either is here correctly or you're emailing me and I'm updating it to you directly, so you'll know if anything changes with you. But for a general, I think from a master sheet standpoint, I am updating it on a regular basis. So again, okay, so Elizabeth comes here. She sees her name. She sees the ward. Then she goes over to that sheet. She sees the location. Then she goes over to the Excel spreadsheet, and now she sees, oh, okay, it said Dickinson Square Recreation Center. That is located here. That's where I have to go. Then we have some folks who are actually assigned to more than one location. We have stationary rovers, and then we have rovers that are actually rovering. Okay, so Matthew, he's in the 26th ward, and he will see all these locations. You see where you see his name. He'll see all these 2 locations, I think it is. He'll see those on that sheet, and then he'll say, oh, okay, he'll go to this sheet and he'll see the address, and then he can organize his day as he sees fit. What we're asking is that if you're rovering and you have multiple locations, that you start your day at the polling place that has the most locations. I got a lot of questions in the past trainings of how were the rovering was selected, how were rovers selected to rover versus the stationary. So if you did not have a car, I didn't put you down to rover. Also, if you are half day or morning, no half day or morning folks, rovers are rovering, only full day. And then I took all the full days for like the first 200 folks or 150 folks that signed up and sent them an email requesting them to send me back their information. The ones who sent back their information were then slotted to be a rover. If you are still interested, we do need some more folks to rover. You can still send me your information, and your information includes your license, your registration, and insurance. You can send that information over to me, and then I can still move you to be a rovering rover. But again, you do have to be all day. You can switch from a half day to a half day, morning or afternoon, and switch to full time and rover it around if you would like to. So also one of the requests that I've been receiving a lot is changing their polling location once you identify your assignment. I ask that if you can refrain from that, that really will help, because what's happening is I am just breaking even, which means that I'm getting folks to sign up, but I continually have folks that things come up and they realize that they can't do the rovering, so you can't be a rover, and we're trying to fill all the slots. We still do have slots to fill, so if you know anyone that's interested, they still can participate. I ask you that they email me, and in the email they say that they are able to do the morning shift, afternoon shift, or full time. I'm really looking for more folks to do full time, so I can put them in a particular location that needs coverage. And if you can not ask for your spouse to be with you, we want to use all of the rovers strategically. So I wouldn't want to assign a husband and wife to one location and then pay both of you when I really need you over in a division polling location that has nobody. So if your spouse or friends would like to do it, we ask that you send those requests in via email. I do answer all emails before, well, I can't say before the next day because it might be 5 in the morning. but I do answer them. So I go through all of them. It's like my little task sheet. So I just go through and work and change everything, and as I go through all the emails. So that's the best way to contact me regarding any changes and requests. All right, so let's go. And I think that like, it's just a relief now, right? It's like, okay, I can figure out where I am. If you're able to open up the sheet, you can then see your name. If you don't see your name there, email me. A lot of things happen in transition. Okay, hold on. I had to wipe my nose. I don't want you to see that. So the instructions, right? So let's go back to what led us here. Okay, so we were talking about, now you know your location, right? So now you know where to go, how to figure out where to go. This is supposed to be in everyone's packet. If it's not in your packet, again, you can reach out to me. And one of the things that we're talking about is, we discussed one of your first assignments was to help voters. And I think we answered that pretty clearly. But then, you know, is how do we help the, how do you help the election board and judge of elections? I'm gonna pull something up out here for you. Okay, so this sheet, I wanted to get this to the every 30 minutes conversation. So in your packet also will be 20 Rover sheets. Everyone that is full day, that is rovering, are asked to get this signed as you go to each location. You can spend anywhere between 10 to 15 minutes at each location if there are no issues. You could be there for 30, 45 minutes if there's an issue, because you're on the phone with us, we're getting the information from someone else. So we want to make sure that whatever the issue is, that we had that resolved. So then once that's resolved, then you'll keep going around to your other locations. There will be a lot of issues in the morning. So the morning opening up the polls is everyone's, you know, nervous, and they don't use the machines every day. So they use it. A lot of poll workers are new. Some poll workers have worked as poll workers before, but they don't use the machine every day. So you feel nervous. It's a lot of pressure. So things happen, and they need assistance to get the polls open on time. So they'll really lean on you to help, especially if you're not able to get through to the number, and you're there to assist, which is awesome. But also throughout the day, we ask that you have this sign, and you're going to go, when you first get there, of course, you'll introduce yourself, but then you're also going to go and when you're rovering to each location and talk to the judge of elections and say, hey, you know, hey, I'm back. Anything going on? Are there any issues or concerns? And they're going to let you know if they're having anything going on, and you're going to contact your regional leader. Now, if you're there stationary, you'll get this sign every 30 minutes. So everyone's like, oh, every 30 minutes? Why? That sounds crazy. Well, for a couple of reasons. One, we need some accountability, because we have city employees where their managers and supervisors are asking to verify that they were even there, and that, okay, they were there, but how do we know that they worked for the whole day? You can't dispute every 30 minutes, right? So, and then when you're roving around to the locations, we have the signatures of the judge of elections there, right? Then for yourselves that are non-city employees, we're paying you $13.75 an hour. So we also want to verify that, okay, this person was there, they didn't get there and then hung out at McDonald's the rest of the day or something, you know, crazy. This way we can verify and be reassured that, okay, everyone was where they said they would be. And I know it seems a little bit like a lot to get done, but it's not really for Matthew's case, right? Matthew is going in and he's rovering. So each time he gets to this location, he's going here, he's going there. He's asking every judge of elections, do they have any issues? But he could just get one to sign, right? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He doesn't have to ask the 5th division to sign every time. And when next time he gets the 6th division to sign, the 9th division to sign, right? But he is asking them every time, do they have any issues? And the same with this one. And then again with David. David has all these multiple ones, right? And then it's saying he's going to go in. He's going to go in every 30 minutes. Erica is there too. She's there in the morning. So David will be by himself in the afternoon. But David can go in. He might want to have Erica go in a little bit more because he'll be, you know, really running around. They can split up their duties, and maybe Erica can man the line for the first hour. David then goes in and asks the poll workers, because I did get the question is, why is there more people at my polling place? Believe me, with a polling place like this, you're going to need a little bit of some work. That's why we need more folks, because it's not one-to-one. It's not one poll worker to one polling place. Sometimes we had to stack them. Also, another reason why they're stacked is individuals had specific requests where they didn't have a car, so they had to go in their particular location. And then, and we had a lot of that, or other reasonings why they requested to be in a particular location. I'm trying to refrain from those requests at this point now, and I really need to fill the holes. I have a long list over here that I wrote down, and as people email me, I'm going in and filling the holes there. So with that said, that's the reasoning for this. One more item you'll have in your packet is the complaint form. Now, this is all topic 2, right? Your duties in reference to helping the judge of elections and election board. Each issue you resolve. So every time you call, the only way you can resolve an issue is by calling your regional leader. Every time you resolve an issue, you're going to have this form completed after, right? You're completing this form. There are 10 of these in your packet. If you run out, you can start like writing the details on the back of them. You're going to get the complainant's name, their address, their title. Most times it'll be the Board of Elections, and then their phone number. The Board of Elections mans and makes sure that everything is going on properly and manages the process for their particular division, but they're the most free person around. The inspector is at the machine, and then the rest of the election board are at the table manning and checking people in. So the Board of Elections, the judge of elections is the one who is more mobile. So a lot of times that's why it'll be that particular person. So you're going to just complete this information, and you're going to write some details in there. And we are using this as a way to collect data as far as what's going on inside the polls with the poll workers. What if we get it back and 500 people had the same issue? Then we know that that's something that we need to work on, because we want to improve the election every way that we can before the next election comes. So that is the purpose of this, and you'll have that completed after you resolve the issue, only for, and it's not real, it says complaint, but it's really like issues that occurred, right? You're not going to complete this for anything that the voter comes up with, because the voter is not really complaining either. They just have they're more question based. So, okay, so let's go back to our Rover, our assignment sheet.
Melissa, you ready for any questions regarding the Excel sheet at all, or do you want to wait?
Right after, let me do this 1 second, and then yes.
Sure.
I'll read the instructions. So we went over some of the quick guides, right? It says you're going to visit your polling locations to check for any issues and concerns. If you are unable to resolve any issues, it says you're going to call this number, but we're asking you to call your regional leaders first. Your regional leaders' numbers are here at the bottom of this sheet. Everyone should have this sheet on election day. If you don't have it, you're going to email me, and I'm going to email it to you. You can pull up your phone. If you have the capability, you'll print it out. Complete the election day complaint form in your packet for each issue you resolved while at the polling place. We just went over that. You should round robin your divisions all day apart from your 1 hour lunch break. So some of the questions might be, do you get lunch? Yes, you do. You get lunch for an hour for all day, folks. It's half an hour for the half day. If we do, I would recommend you to bring your chair. It may not be super busy the entire day. Mornings and the evenings are most busy. In between, it can get kind of slow depending on your polling place. If you have one of those polling places with like 20 divisions, then you know it probably be busy the whole day. But if it's just one polling place, one division at that polling place, it may not be as busy. So bring your chair, and I will bring snacks and things for yourself. Please help the polling place election judge sign your round robin sheets each time you visit the polling place. Here, guides and duties. We just went over 1 and 2. We're going to get ready to go over 3. I'll take some questions though before we get to 3, because it's just reiterating PPE. It says PPT is E. You will not receive credit for your visit if your sheets are not signed. There are no exceptions. So it can't be you forgot to get them signed, you didn't know. That is the only way we can verify we are not there with you. So we do ask that you have that completed every 30 minutes or each time you're roving around. Where do these things go? So your all complaint forms and round robin sheets should be inserted in your envelope and turned back in to Trina, who is in City Hall, room 130, or you can email it. We understand that everyone can't get back down to Center City by November 6th, but November 6th is the deadline, so you will need to scan it and email it. And then mileage reimbursement does not qualify for this session because that is only for city employees. So let's go ahead and open up to some questions.
Awesome. Let's see. The Excel sheet, there were a couple questions as far as the color coding.
There's no rhyme or reason. It kind of helped me organize in my head because everything started to get very blurry.
Okay, so people can disregard the color coding.
Mm-hmm.
Great. And for clarification, you can step in here too. The assignments that people will be getting, that's on your packet when you pick those up
yes.
at the Committee of 70 offices. So focus on that. All right. Let's see. This is an interesting one. Are there multiple judges of elections at some polling places, or in other words, is there only one judge for each division? So if
yes,
there's a
that is
polling place
correct.
that has,
okay. Yep, one judge and one board of elections for each division.
Great. Okay. Let's see. Answer that. If we are a stationary rover, do we still need to submit copies of our driver's license, insurance cards?
No, you do not. Nope. But everyone needs to complete the form that states you're driving around, even though you're not. You are paid for your lunch. So say you drive to go get lunch and something happens. So we do need that form completed. When you go pick up your packet, you'll hand that in. If you haven't picked up your packet already. If you picked up your packet, they should have requested that. But you don't have to send your license and things information in.
Do the judges know that they are supposed to sign our papers every 30 minutes, or do we need to explain that to them?
Some will, some won't. Some judges, some election board members have changed because people became sick. They decided they couldn't do it. So we had to replace them. The same thing I'm doing, they're doing on a very larger scale is filling in the spots to make sure that we have all the election board and some judges and so forth. So some folks are new, just getting trained, getting them prepared for election day to fill slots. So some won't know. Some have done it before in November 2019 and 2020, so they're very familiar. Some heard it during training, but still don't really remember. It's so much going on. So some will, some won't, and I can't tell you who those will be. So you could just let them know.
Let's see. Someone asked, is there a dress code we need to be aware of?
Oh, so there's no dress code. If you have like city paraphernalia, you can wear that, but you're not to wear any candidates' paraphernalia. So nothing that has support of a particular candidate or party. So I would just dress plain and comfortable and warm.
Seems like a good rule of thumb is solid colored clothing, right?
Yes, exactly. Solid colored clothing.
Let's see.
You know, but if you have like a red hat on, red shoes, red jacket, red pants, kind of know what you're doing. Or it could be coincidental. Just be aware of some of those things. Or if you're wearing all blue, right? Blue hat, blue shoes, blue gloves. You know that you can't wear paraphernalia, but it's not the time to really express yourself in that nature. We're asking you to help the voters and the poll workers. So you're not campaigning at this point.
So somebody wanted to ask a clarification on that. Can you wear a general vote mask or shirt? That's not official.
Yeah, yes. Get out the vote. Yes, absolutely.
Let's see. We got some of those.
I am going to blow my nose. So I want to come off
Yeah,
camera. Sorry.
Okay. Mask, we got that. Did you say we're mostly standing outside? So yes, you'll largely be outside. So you are welcome to bring a chair with you. And if you're set, especially if you're stationary in one spot. So let's see, we got that. During downtime, can we just sit inside the voting place? And
no, you cannot.
Yeah.
So we went over a slide that stated who's allowed in the polling place. So you're going in briefly, but you're not allowed to be in that polling place for an extensive period of time. Not even hanging out, observing. You're not to go to anywhere close to the machine or anything of that nature.
Maggie writes, can we sign the personal vehicle form when we pick up our packets? Since she has she does not have a printer, so. Okay. I think most of the rest of the stuff I can type in here. This is a good question. Somebody asked earlier about voters asking to use the restroom. Rovers are allowed to use the restrooms inside. But what about voters?
Yeah, voters can use the restroom. Unless the facility has some reasoning for them not. A lot of, well, I guess it depends on how long the line is. And I would say I was at places for a very long time and very few people asked to use the restroom, but they are allowed to.
Right, great. Okay. Question from Nicholas. If the judge of elections or poll workers asks for assistance inside, what is the guidance?
When you say they ask for assistance inside, I'm going to think you mean you'll be inside when they ask for assistance. But if they're saying, hey, I want you to take a look at this machine and let me know what you think, I'm not sure. You're not going to go near the machine. You're going to call your regional leader and describe to them what the issue is. And we're going to get them to answer. Whether we have somebody else call them or whether we have you pass along the information, you'll be doing it that way. The poll worker won't be coming outside to you to get the answer to the question. You'll be inside giving them this answer. If I didn't ask your question properly, you can rephrase it.
Yeah, I think some of the stuff here, the poll workers will be doing help with like social distancing, or finding a polling place for the voters. So your role as a rover is going to be largely outside before voters get into the polling.
Well, it's dual, right? Because it's dual because the line could get backed up because the poll worker is having a hard time getting through to get a question answered. So you do need to assist the poll worker so we can make sure the lines start moving. And then again, you will be outside majority of the time, besides the 30 minutes you go in, and then if there's a particular problem, but you do need to make sure that you're communicating with the judge of elections to get the Rover sheet signed, and make sure that their questions to their answers you provide to them by way of your regional leader. So I think what I'm really trying to say is we don't know which way it's going to be heavy. You're going to have more voters with the issues, or you're going to have more the poll workers, or even, or neither. There's no way to predict that.
Mm-hmm. Several questions from earlier as far as identifying the poll watchers. Are they, besides the certificate that they're supposed to carry with them, there's no real way to identify who they are besides just where they are in proximity to the registration table that's inside, correct?
Well, they'll have it in their possession, and it's not really your responsibility to identify them. It's the judge of elections. We just wanted you to be aware.
Let's see. Somebody wanted to go over emergency ballots and that process again, if possible. For example, how if we encounter a situation where we learn someone is sick and still wants to vote, how exactly will that process work? As it appears to be two parts and an application followed presumably by them getting a ballot.
I'm sorry, I didn't get that question.
Sorry, so Leslie asks the process for emergency absentee ballots. How if someone is sick and still wants to vote, how exactly will that process work?
If they're sick and still want to vote, they would have to have applied for an absentee ballot. There's a deadline.
But so is there a different process for an emergency absentee ballot? I'm not aware of this.
I don't know anything about an emergency. A provisional ballot, if they can get to the poll. Absentee ballot has a deadline. I never heard of an emergency absentee ballot.
We'll have to,
Leslie, I'll write it down and check it out.
Yeah, Leslie, I'm going to drop an email address into the Q&A in response to your questions so that you can, and this person is much more up to speed on the rapidly, or not, I shouldn't say rapidly changing, the dynamic election laws right now. So I'm going to give you Pat's email.
See, can you share what type of identification the judge of elections will have? They won't have any identification. They're not identifying themselves to anyone. They've been assigned and trained and will be in a polling place. We were told about the emergency ballot option by Michael. I think he might have used the terminology incorrectly. There's provisional ballots, but everyone gives the ballot a different name. But he said there were emergency ballots if a person was sick. Okay, so all right, let's let us look into it because I don't know. Do you think it's in the slide?
In Michael's slide, I don't recall. But I think Pat might be the best one to answer this. If we ask him, can you include the answer on any follow-up communication you're doing?
Absolutely.
Right, great. Okay. So we're going to ask Pat about the process. Yeah, we've got the link here. We shared that in the chat, but the link doesn't have detailed information on the process for what Rovers would be doing. So we'll ask Pat, and then Melissa will follow up with everybody.
So the ballot questions are always posted outside of the polling place. They're this big pink sheet that you'll see every election. Someone asked the voter questions, do they get to read them beforehand? Yes.
All right. Did you have other stuff that you wanted to go through, or are we all on Q&A now?
Okay. Let me go back to the presentation. No, I just have a couple more slides, not a lot.
Okay.
Let me share my screen. do this one. All right, so third duty, implement PPE safety measures by doing the following: passing out masks for voters that do not have them, place markers 6 feet apart based on those guidelines. So we went over that in pretty extensive detail. Then the regional leaders, again, I went over this. It's in your packet on your assignment sheet at the bottom. So your ward, if you're ward 1 through 12, you'll be contacting Lauren. 13 through 25, Ashley. Justin's on the call now. He's 26 through 38. And wards 39 through 53 is myself, and Trevor's 54 through 66. Shifts, just wanted to reiterate, 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. all day, half day morning, 6 to 1, half day afternoon, 1 to 9. We went over the QR code lookup sheet. We also went over, did we go over the satellite? I think we talked about it, but let me show it to you. One second, I'm trying to make my way through. I don't think I see it. Hold on. Let me go back up. Over sheet, Q, complaint for, oh, it's in the, I kept skipping over the Word document. So here we have satellite offices and the drop box locations. It's opening up twice. And this will be in your packet so you can help poll workers if they, you can help, voters if they come with their mail-in ballot but don't know where to go to hand it in. They decide, they thought they could drop it off the polling place, or they really knew that the polling place was where they could get the definitive answer. So you'll have this with you so you can direct them. And they could choose any one. It doesn't have to be close to the location they're in. Any one they could use in order to get to where they need to go to hand that in. And of course, if they change their mind, the line is short, they say, you know what, I'll just vote on the machine. They do need that envelope, the declaration envelope with them in order to complete that process by surrendering. And then the other form we have in here is the FAQ that has answers to a lot of questions. I recommend that everyone read through this before the election, just so you can be a little bit more familiar. Where's my polling place? What is a provisional ballot? How do I know if my provisional ballot counted? Why has my polling place changed so frequently? I haven't voted in a little while. Do I need a new registration to vote? So all the answers to those questions are there. So that makes you even more equipped to help our voters. You can say, oh, okay, I never heard that question. They didn't go over that in training. Let me see if it's in my FAQ before I call my regional leader for assistance. Okay, so I think that completes, let me go back. Yeah, that completes our training and presentation this morning. So we want to leave enough time for Q&A because I know everyone has a lot of questions. So we can just go to our Q&A portion.
How would you like to do this? Would you like me to read some, or do you want to?
Yeah, I'll go through them quickly. Yeah. What is our role in facilitating provisional ballots? Informational purposes only. I am the only, that's the answer to the question, informational purposes only. If I am the only one in the polling station, oh shoot, hold on. Let me.
Sorry, I just moved one up.
No, that's okay, because I forget.
I'm gonna try to time my response.
Live, it'll stay. What do we do if we witness voter intimidation? You should call your regional leader and they'll instruct you on what to do next. What was that other one that I? Do you see it, or it'll come back, right?
Yeah, it'll come back.
Okay. Can you please go over the Rover sheets again? So I think I closed it out, but the Rover sheets, you will have the judge of election sign every 30 minutes. If you are stationary, if you're rovering, every time you go to your polling location. You don't have to have the same judge of election signed if there's multiple judge of elections. You just have to have it signed every 30 minutes. Okay, please show names and numbers of people to contact. The names and numbers are the PowerPoint will be sent to you. The PowerPoint, wait a minute. Let me just do what I'm asked. I'll give me 1 second. I'll share my screen and leave it up for you. It is included in the email, at the bottom of the email that I sent everyone regarding this training, and in your packet. Okay, and I think the main reason why okay, all right. Give me 1 second. I want to see. All right, so that should be good. I'll leave it up there for you, okay? I just want to make sure that, okay, it doesn't inhibit me in any way. All right, perfect. Are there any poll workers whose job is to organize the line outside that is mostly fall over rovers? Yeah, just rovers. No one's ever had that job. They're so busy checking in poll workers, they are not dealing with the line at all. The line is just what it is from their perspective. So that's why we have you, and we're so appreciative that you decided to help out with this election, and especially this one, because we know that it's going to be a lot of folks should vote. Can you clarify at what point helping a voter should be written? Never written on a complaint form, helping the voter, only the poll workers. If the voter has a complaint, where do we direct them? There should be no complaints, there should be only questions. So if they have a question, then we are answering it. If they're giving suggestions on what they think should happen, you can like email that to me, or maybe there's a number or something they could call. Hold on. Voter feedback, right? I don't know if there is. That's more like a feedback thing, right? We're not collecting that. But I'm going to find out if there's a number somewhere that actually goes, and I'll put it in the email to everyone. Okay. What are the hours of the satellite election offices? The same as election day, 7 to 8. Do we write our names on our name tags? No, they're general name tags, but you can write your name. If we initially signed up for a full day but had something arise when we can only do half day now, what should we do? Email Melissa. Yes, it sounds like yes, but does not change anything about picking up our packet? Correct. Yep. Did you say that half day rovers get lunch, 30 minutes snack, or whatever you like to do? You know, people get fatigue and things, so whatever you're most comfortable with. But we ask that you stay at the location. So if you want to go grab something, you can come back and, you know, or eat something in the car or something real quick. But we do need you there during your shift for anything that arises. So also, from what I'm heard, that a lot of other people, organizations and things could be out there during election, again, 10 feet away from the polling place if they are promoting a particular candidate. But they should have their badge if they're official rovers designated from the city. Someone could come up to you and say, hey, I'm here to help. You'll say, okay, well, where's your badge? No badge. I'm calling my regional leader, because people can falsify themselves. So be careful of that. I should put that in an email. Sorry, I just wrote it down. Can we bring music? I have to ask. I really do. I don't know the answer to that question. This is such a massive operation. I know, right? Thank you for so much for everything you are doing to protect and promote democracy. Aw, thank you, Jennifer. That was so sweet. Do you mind repeating what to do if someone brings their mail-in ballot to the site but wants to vote in person? They surrender it. They surrender the mail-in ballot along with their envelope. They do need the declaration envelope in order to surrender it. And you're letting them know, because they may come to the polling place without the envelope, or they may come without the ballot and the envelope, and they only live right around the corner. What's the use of waiting in line for 2 hours when you could have went and got it and then had that all taken care of? So that's why you're there. Important to know. And if there's this question that arises and you can't remember, because I know it's a lot of information, you could call your regional leader. If I'm the only one at my polling station, how long do I take a lunch break if I'm working a full shift? You still can take an hour. It's all up to you. I generally do not get a break. But because normally we pair folks, right? But because it's just too many to pair, I mean, it's too many polling places to pair folks up. But just use your judgment. Well, you know, regarding that. It's PPE. That's a typo, not PPT. You have been great answering emails. Oh, thank you. I've been staying up all morning to do it, because the worst thing, don't you hate when you're trying to get service from somewhere and they tell you reach out to this particular location and then no one ever gets back to you? Like, what's the purpose? So I've been making sure that I do answer every email. And if I didn't answer it, it's because like they might clump in together. That's why I have all that stuff open. But I do make sure I do that. So thank you for acknowledging. If someone needs to use the bathroom, can we stand in line for them? No, you could just let the person in the front and the back know that they went to the bathroom. They'll be back. Melissa, you are doing an incredible job. Thank you for your effort. Thank you again. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. If I understand, we can't give anything to rovers. To voters? Is there any other group providing food and water if they're waiting? It all depends on the polling location. They need chairs, they need water, you know. I don't see a problem with bringing water, but we don't want to bring food. And I don't know. So it all depends on where they are. Do we take lunch whenever we want, or is there a sort of schedule? No, you take it whenever you feel like you need to take it. What was the number of the city attorney's hotline, and when would we need to use it? Did Michael mention the city attorney? Justin?
I don't know if he did. I don't recall him mentioning.
Because it would be in his presentation, and you will get a copy of that if you don't have it already. I think you might have it already. Hold on. Too many screens, right? Okay. Because I remember seeing it, because I just started to just go ahead and send it out. Election PDPH guidelines. Okay, so if it was Michael's presentation, you already have it in your email box. If you didn't get this email, just email me and I will get to it. I take a little break in between because emergency ballot. That was the answer. Voters who advise of symptoms and ask for information about an alternative means of voting should be referred to instructions on obtaining and using an emergency absentee ballot found at, there it is, all at your fingertips. How cool is that? So you do have this presentation, and if you don't, you can send it to me. But we were looking for the attorney. I don't see it in there. All right, so just send me your question. I actually might just be going through it too fast because I don't want to spend too long on one particular question. But send me a question you have that I wasn't able to answer. Oh, these windows. Hold on. I'm driving myself crazy here. Okay, PowerPoint. Okay. So let's go back to your questions. Okay. Oh, translation available for voters. Yes, there is translation. Call your regional leader for assistance. Oftentimes the polling place do not open on time. I know, right? You really know what's going on, Tyra. I just wanted to verify that we are to report to this on the complaint form. No, they're not. Well, yeah. I mean, you could, but the complaint is coming from the poll worker. I doubt that they're going to complain on themselves. But you know what? A lot of times it's not the poll worker that didn't get there on time. It's the building, and we can't control the building but so much. They'll designate someone to open the polls, and that's the real reason why they're opening up late. Like they have, churches in all different areas, and they have they might designate it, like even for a school district, they might designate one person to open up multiple, and they'll just like you're rovering, that's what they'll do. And that's why it doesn't open up. It's not like one-to-one. So I know it's awful, but we do the best we can do. But if you want to put it on a complaint form, you should. It just has to come from the election board, not yourself. So for your suggestions on what you think, you can email me that, and I can compile those, and we can start looking at those, like things to make the process better. But we want to keep things separate. Complaints forms are from the poll workers. Do they need to turn in secrecy envelope? Yes, they do. To vote in person, absolutely. They have to surrender it. For lunch and break.
And the ballot the declaration envelope is the important one, right? That's the.
Say it again.
The declaration envelope is the really important one.
Yes. The declaration envelope is the important one. Yeah. Do they need to? Oh, sorry. I do not have a driver's license, so I cannot fill out the personal vehicle form. Will this be a problem when I go to pick up my packet? What risk management asks is that you write on the form, I do not have a car or driver's license. We do want that from everyone. Okay. Is this the number website we should give voters who want to register complaints? I don't know. I'll check that out a little later, Jamie, and send an email. What exactly is the job of a judge of elections? Oh, wow. You're really going deep there. So, in summary, to make sure that the electoral process while voters are voting are followed by the guidelines. I think that wasn't too bad. What was the number for, okay. Well, did I write that down? City attorney number. Okay, look at that. So I know we're supposed to fill out complaint form for poll workers, judge of election encounters and issues. Is there any ever situation where I had questions where we help them but wouldn't fill out? No, we want to know everything that had occurred that you had to help them with. Yep. I don't have a packet yet. I can go to the office today to get it, but cannot get to the 18th floor because fear of heights. Can someone bring the packet to me in the lobby? Can you email me? And then I will see if someone can, I'm going to connect you with, actually, you could just call Justin. Justin, will you be there?
Melissa, I'm pretty sure that I will not be there, but colleagues will be, and I'm pretty sure they're just doing it down in the lobby so that people don't have to go up the elevator.
Well, Lauren said it was too much to be in the lobby, so they were having people go to the 18th floor.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, so if maybe we just connect her with Lauren, I want to say call the number, but that number may, oh, here's the number to, could you copy and paste this number, Mark? Well, maybe we should verify it. Mark is mentioning the city attorney's number. So I don't know if you want to just copy and paste it into the chat for everyone.
Where's Mark? Here you go. Mark Schneider. Okay, yeah.
So back to your question about, just email me. Well, I may not get to the email before you get to the packet. Call me. I think I had to just connect you with Lauren. And I rarely say that. Call me, but call me. Because I don't know any other way to get it to you quickly. My assignment sheet says Ward 22, but my polling locations is Ward 66. Is that just a typo? Can I also email you? No, well, no, it's not a typo. If you have means of transportation, we ask that you go to that area. The 22nd ward is filled with a bunch of people. We needed more people, and I think the 66 is in the Northeast. We needed people who drove to go to other locations. So we were not able to assign everyone to their polling place. So if you're able to and you're comfortable, we ask that you do go to Ward 66. And I've been dealing with a lot of those questions, which is just slowing the process down. Because I'm not filling the spots. All I'm doing is moving people around and taking people off. So where do we start 6 a.m.? I'm still not clear. If I have multiple, you're going to start with the location that has the most divisions. Satellite office hours listed 11 to 6:30, just confirming this isn't different on election day. I'll confirm, but it really should be election day hours. So I'll put it in the email. I need to leave the meeting, but thank you so much for all of your organization. Thank you, Karen, and have a great time during the election. When we go to pick up our packet today, can we ask questions there? Yeah, but they may not know the answers. So you can ask and see what they're able to assist you with. And if they know, they'll answer. If I need to answer, they'll tell you to email me.
I'm going to also throw in there too, Lauren scheduled 3 Q&A sessions. I'll drop these into the chat for Monday at various points, I think 11, 4, and 7. So I will put those into the chat. I will double check to make sure that we've got Zoom rooms located or set for those. I think we do. So I will put all that information in the chat over the next 5 minutes.
Yes. So do we get the Rover sheet signed as soon as we get to the polling place? Yes, absolutely. As soon as you get there, that's the first thing you do. You introduce yourself, get it signed. Are Rovers receiving W-2s for the work? No. W-2s. You know what? That's a good question because you are a city employee for the day. Email me and I'll shoot you over to the person who can answer. That's not my question. I'm not asking to move my assignment, my contradictions. I will email you my assignment page. Okay. You noticed that there might be an error. Okay. While working at the polling place, we are to be considered as city employees. Yes, as the election day Rover's term is conditioned. That is correct. You're a city employee for the day. Yay! How do we explain the options between voting for the polls, provisional versions, voting by replacement mail ballot at this satellite office? So it's preference. So if they want to vote, if they have it, they can surrender it. If they don't have it, they only can vote provisionally. If they have it and this is the mail-in ballot, and they're saying that they don't want to submit it to one of the satellite offices, then they can do provisional, or they'll say, they can surrender it and vote. But if they're saying, if they want to just know where to go to hand it in, you can direct them either way. So it's really, if they have it in their hand, they have more than one option. If they don't have it, they only have one option. Or unless they can go home and get it. Are all important phone numbers in the training pack sent via email? Yes, you should have gotten the email already. No, I didn't consolidate the numbers because I really want you to just call your regional leader. What if you can't make it today to pick up your packet. Is there another day available? You can email me and I'll connect you to Lauren and she'll let you know. What if we, okay. Is it the voter's responsibility to say if they received the mail-in ballot by which if the vote is in person but don't vocalize, they need to spoil it. It's all about a question. They don't have to tell you anything. They don't have to speak to you at all. If you go down the line, you say, does anyone have questions? And they ask you a question, you want to provide an answer. You're not doing any form of like regulating, and you're just asking questions, and then the actual process is handled inside by the Board of Elections. Okay. So I'm not certain if I even answered your question. Every vote counts. So I'm not sure. Hi, I asked the question earlier, but there was no response. If I have a city card, am I able to use it when? Yes, absolutely. I have an appointment from 1 to 3 Tuesday. Am I able to leave? No, no. No, then you're not an all-day rover. You're a morning rover from 6 a.m. to 1. No, you cannot leave to go to an appointment from 1 to 3. And I think that you're there. you confirm that you could be there. So just do a half day. So email me, let me know. Let's get that changed. Can we switch from full day? Absolutely, despite not having a car. Oh, you don't have to have a car to be full day, because you could be a stationary full day. Absolutely. I indicate I have a car. I am slotted to work full day at place. Does that mean that I'm stationary? Yes, Shannon, you have to submit verification in order to actually rover. Even though you're full day, if you didn't send your verification, then you won't be rovering. If you did send it, just email me or email it again. Before the polls open, are we allowed inside the polling location? Yeah, absolutely. You're allowed in, but you're not allowed to touch the machines. Most of your setup should be outside. You're allowed to go in and ask, do they need any help? And they're going to tell you what help they'll need, but you're not allowed to help them set up. Also, what is the difference between the numbers? The 7,800 is the main number poll workers use. And I'm not sure about the 1590, but call your regional leader. What happens if you're tied up assisting a voter and the judge of elections is overwhelmed, such as they aren't able to get every single 30-minute block signed for? You'll ask somebody else to sign it. It must be signed. There's no exceptions. Is there a different process? You could always come out and come back in, right? You don't, if you come in for your 30-minute and they're not ready to sign it, you could just come right back and get it signed. I think that's your point, right? But you can ask for somebody else to sign. Is there a different process for receiving payment for city employees? Yes. For city employees, you're not getting payment, you're just getting credit for a day's work. If you work over your normal regular schedule, you're compensated the way you're normally compensated if you qualify for overtime. Should we put our names? Oh, I answered that. If you would like, absolutely. 13 more to go. And I know we're going a little bit over. So for those who need to drop off, you can. I want to thank you again for participating to be a rover. For those who have questions or want to wait to hear the question answered, you can stay on, and you will receive a transcript of today's session with the Q&A that you can go through and look through the answers. So this typed up. And then we also recorded today's session. So you'll be able to get a copy of that if you want to go back and review some things. Can we enter our time? And yeah, you would enter it in one Philly. Your regular coding that you would submit your time. There's no special coding. If I am the only one in the polling station, how long do I take? Okay, I think I answered that. Your lunch break is an hour. For some of my assignments, I'm full day, others half day. Okay, that is strange. We'll have to fix that. Doesn't make any sense. Can we text our contact person if we have a question on behalf of a poll worker or person voting? Yeah, yep. At any point in time, you can't answer the question. Poll workers, you'll never be able to answer those questions. You'll always have to, well, I can't say never, but you're most likely 9 times out of 10 have to contact your regional leader. Could someone just vote in person without saying anything about having a mail-in ballot? I think that's the regular voter, right? Every vote, I don't know. The regular voter is going to go to vote in person. So the point of being a rover is just helping out the judge of elections, and we won't be there the whole shift, correct? No, the 3 things we went through are you're helping voters answer questions, you're helping judge of elections, you're handing out PPE, and making sure everyone stays safe. That is the reasoning. And if you are full day, your shift is 6 a.m. to 9, half day is 6 a.m. to 1, and that's half day morning, half day evening is 1 p.m. to 9. In most cases, is there any other rule? Is there only one rover for each polling shift? It all depends. So, as I was stating earlier, so the point of being a rover, the following up of questions about multiple judges. If you're stationary at a site with multiple divisions, multiple judges, do you need to ask every judge everything? No, you are going to ask every judge, do they have an issue? You'll get only one judge to sign. Yes, you're going to ask every judge. Any issues? Because how would you know unless they come out and get you? And a lot of times you're too busy to, they coming out there and stuff. So I did get email docs, and should we print them all? They are in your packet, so you don't need to print them, Rebecca. Is everyone getting paid for this position or just some people? I signed up to volunteer, and everyone that hands in their rover sheets, they're signed every 30 minutes. So that's at your discretion, because if it's not signed every 30 minutes, you will not get paid. And then $13.75 an hour. And for the city employees, they're compensated for a day's work and over if needed. So that concludes all of our Q&A, which is so exciting to accomplish. So, and that really concludes our session. If anyone has any additional questions, again, feel free to email me. I will be available. And you just enjoy your Halloween and your weekend, and make sure you get lots of rest the night before the election. And I hope that everyone has a good time and a great experience. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Melissa. Melissa, I'm going to drop these additional Q&A sessions into an email and send them to you if you want to send those out to.
Yes. We should probably send all of them out, right? So.
Yeah, I think so. We've got 3 of them, so. Just in case anybody has any straggling questions. So, cool.
All right, perfect.
Thanks, Melissa. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a good one, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.